Okay, it's on. So for next week, next week is 5 days of school. We're gonna divide it, I've divided it up into 2 TEKs, K2F and K2H. So if you will open your types drive under the Kinder folder and math. And if you don't have it, it'll just be up here so you can look.
Okay.
And I'll try to enlarge it.
Thank you.
It's under. I'll try to star it. No, it already has a star. But if yours comes out like mine, it should be on the top. It's 4.3. I'll try to blow it up. So again, these aren't new TEKs. This is the biggest tick we got. Okay. They're not new TEKs. It's just the number we go up to. So last semester it was up to 10. Well, actually the first couple 6 weeks it was up to 5, and then by the end of December it was up to 10, and so now we're going up to 15, and our goal is up to 20. So K2F we'll be doing Monday through Wednesday, and that's generate a number that is 1 more than or 1 less than another number up to 15. So make sure that, I guess the biggest number you would use is 14, so that they can get to 15. Maybe for your kids that can go higher, they can go up to the higher teens. But the goal is for them to be up to 15 so that they can be fluent up to 20 by the end. And then by first grade, it's up to 120. So it's like a huge jump to go from 20 to 120, but that's what they have us doing, or that's what they have, first grade doing. So Monday is going to be a number that's greater, and then the other 2 days is a number that's less. So depending on, you can have the freedom, if you need 2 days for 1 more, then you can have that. But I gave 1 day for 1 more, and then 2 days to generate a number that's less, because I know it's harder for the kids to get that. And then for Thursday and Friday, it's K2H, which is using comparative language. And I'll talk about where in the TEKs you can see that it goes back to. This actually goes back to K2G, which is also a comparing standard. So if they have mastered that yet, then it's going to be hard for them to get this standard. And going back to K2F, I think it goes back to K2. It's a readiness standard. I'll look it up on Lead Forward. So if they don't understand, it always goes back to a previous standard, which is what the first grade teachers are gonna, wonder, what happened to Kinder. Of course, we're gonna be on it, but so there's 2 days of K2H, which is here's the LO. I can use comparative language to describe 2 numbers up to 15 represented as numerals. So I'm not going to read these, but it's up here. Here are the essential questions. For Monday through Wednesday, they're the same. And then Thursday and Friday, they're the same. The DOL's there. I just need to kind of update some of the math on the spots and some of the page numbers. But if we want to dig into what we have.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
For the comparative language, the last 2 days, that's like 6 is greater than 5.
Yeah, that's a good question. So yeah, we're using greater than, less than, and then under greater falls more, and then under less is fewer.
Okay.
We will not be using symbols. Symbols is what first grade begins with. If we think our kids are ready in May to use symbols, then we can introduce that like at the end of the year. But for right now, it's just getting that language. 6 is greater than. Well, actually, let's go higher than that. Let's do 14. 14 is greater than 11. And then once they understand that, then once they say 14 is greater than 11, they should also know the opposite. 11 is less than 14. So I would, model that and show that with cubes,
That's a good station activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of what this lesson design is go from concrete to pictorial to abstract. So whatever they can touch, and then whatever they can draw, and then whatever the abstract will help them with word problems in the future. So, and then this this is what I made. This is what was already in your folders. So you just need the paper, but you have the title of the anchor chart, and you have the dominoes. And so I tried to use the same amount of dominoes, or the same amount of pips. So on the bottom would be greater than, and so just draw an arrow to what is greater, and then draw an arrow to what is less. And then I cut it in the middle with what they're equal to. So just let them see, and it's better because it's going up in numbers. So we're already not necessarily in the teens, but it's 12.
Okay.
So just allow them to see does everybody have dominoes? I mean, you don't have to use dominoes, but I thought it was it should be in here.
Yeah.
And you don't have to use dominoes. You can use. I know everyone has a set of the 10 frames, so you can double up, you can partner up, and so every partner will have a double 10 frame. So it could essentially make up to 20, but we're just going up to 15. So here you would say 12 is greater than 11, and then 12 is equal to 12. How do you know? Just keep on asking every day. How do you know? What tells you that? How can you see it? How can you make it? How can you show it? And then just like here, you did 12 is greater than 11, then use the same numbers and say 11 is less or 11 is fewer than, and try to interchange that language as much as you can.
And also,
yep.
I like that you've been also putting in Diaz in the lesson plan, also using random arrangement, incorporating that. And that's something else that I've been doing as well, because usually they're just used to doing it in arranged order, drawing the numbers in arranged order. For now,
we also have. I used to pass this. I'll pass this on in a minute. This comes from the TRS Teach Resource System, which we're trying to use so that we can be on the same page. Let me get this projector on. Are there any questions so far, or?
You're doing.
No, I was just like, I didn't realize how important it was for them to see the random arrangement in everything, because now I can incorporate it into more and less than, and now that they're using bigger numbers, they need to see that random arrangement.
Something I've done to do random arrangement with one more and one less is bags. Like bags full of counters. And so one partner pulls one handful, the other partner pulls, and then they compare the numbers.
Oh,
so you might could have sentence.
I like that idea.
Ooh, love it. Yes.
Love it. I mean, write that down.
Write it down.
That's
yes.
a good station.
Yeah, because I need those.
Pass this on.
Let's see.
Can you pass that out, please? So this is more of the higher level thinking. This is by what we want, I would say, at the end of the 6 weeks for our kids to be able to answer. So not next week. This is not the DOL. This is just what we're working up to. And I'm not going to read it, but this incorporates more than K2. I mean, yeah, KF and K2F and H. It incorporates the process standards. It incorporates K2A and B, I think. There's a bunch of other standards that it incorporates. But it has the first question is about Ryan and his blocks. He wants to build a tower or a fort. And then it has like 5 other questions that the kids should be able to master. And it all comes from those two, mostly those two TEKs. So again, I got this from TEKS Resource System. You can also get it from what's it called, the Curriculum Central under the math. When you click on the extra resources or additional resources, it'll come up. It'll come to this, and it's the very first question. So this would kind of be the guiding, like, what our goal is to get to by the end of the 6 weeks. What you picked up in your folder, half of it is for RTI, for the kids that are struggling. So we may have kids that may not be to the teens yet. I know I've got them. And so you know who they are. Pull these resources. These come from, I'll show you. These come from Go Math. And this is specifically Tier 2. So if you have kids that are below that, so if they're Tier 3, there are also those, and it's a little more basic, so I didn't print it out. But I can show you if you don't know how to get there. But I like it because it's scripted. On the bottom it tells you, it tells the teachers what to say, and you can see by the picture what tools you need. So here you would need counters and the dual-sided counters, either the red and the white or the red and the yellow. So this would be for, specifically, I think this is for
Tier 2, I think?
Yes.
But which peak is
But I think it's going to be for day...
Monday.
Whatever is...
Tuesday and Wednesday?
I think it's...
Model Fever. Is that the one you're on? Sorry. Oh, you're on the same one.
I'm on same number, so that's... this will be for Thursday and Friday.
Okay.
So I pulled the tier 2s for Thursday and Friday, and then I pulled the enrich, which is the other pages that we'll go over. The enrich is going to be for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if you have kids that are lagging in the K2F, trying to get to 15, and if we have time, I'll show you how to get to the tiered pages. But again, it's scripted, so you can just read it. Here, this would be for Model More, and they just have to match them up. I would suggest using a different color if you can, just so that they can see it. One day use a different color, the next day use the same color, and then see if they understand it. But here they did do the, I don't know, if I would have printed in a color, I'm not sure if it would have, I don't remember if it was different colored, or if it was just grayscale.
Maybe
But
just have them color in one.
yeah, or you can have them color, yeah, you can make copies and have them color it in also. But I would first, before that, if they're really low, I would have them manipulate. And then this is Model Fewer. This might be out of order, so I would do first more, and then fewer, and then equal. Just because equal is the easiest one to get. And here we have a fewer. Again, you don't have to use the counters. You could use blocks or bears or Unifix cubes. And then this is what you can use. Up here it'll tell you the enrich. So this is for the kids that get it. So for your higher kids, for your kids that might be able to go above 15, so maybe getting closer to 20. And again, it tells you at the bottom, look for the set that has fewer than 10. Mark an X through the set that does not have 10, and then tell how many more are needed. So it goes above. And then you can ask them, like, how do you know? How did you get that number? So, yeah. So this is for, the kids that breeze through or seem bored or they already know it. I like this one because while it is a worksheet, quote, it lets the kids have their own interpretation. Like, you can read to them about the seating chart situation. Mr. Lee has 15 kids in his class. They sit in 2 rows, so if they don't understand the concept, just show them this is one row, this is the other row. The top row has more kids than the bottom row. Draw a picture of the 2 rows. How many kids are in each row? So, I mean, this would be probably really hard for even our brightest kids, but I mean, you never know. They might get it. I just threw it in there for fun. And then the last one is, again, one less with basketballs. The number shows how many basketballs in all. The red team has 10. Draw them. So, this is a way that they can get colors or markers or color pencils. How many basketballs does the blue team have? Draw them. That's for 1 and 2. And then for 3, I like it because it goes back to 16. So they thought they had one, they think they have it one way, and then they can do it a totally other different way for 16, but they have to show you, how can you compose 16 a different way.
I like it. Because usually I don't know when I do math how to pull the math
Yeah.
small groups. So this is really helpful for all the tiers.
Very good.
So I'll show you how to get to, because we want to make sure that everyone is able to get to our the resources that we use. I'm going to log into Clever.
I love Clever, by the way.
The
my cell phone. Can you believe
The district spent a bunch of money to get us Clever, so.
Is it just our login? Okay.
Yeah, it's your Google login. It's coming up here in a moment.
Girl.
Mom wants to teach you.
Girl. Girl, I thought I was.
And then the kids, I mean, I think in middle school or high school they use this more for the older kids this is the way to get an iStation. This is like a one-stop shop. You can go to RM. You can access online learning through here. You can access Google Classroom, Khan Academy, or Khan Academy. Teachers can get grade speed, like all this stuff. But we're just gonna go through Think Central. And then it's kind of hard, but at resources, there's this square with an arrow that you click on, and then here's the whole bank. And this bank gives you from pre-K through 5th. And so just go down to what you need. Kindergarten math. And then for the printouts that I have here, I used both the RTI. This is the student edition, so it's just blank. It doesn't have any of the answers. If you want the teacher edition, it's right here, the TE. And then for the Enrich, we'll go to the Enrich, because some of this you might say, oh, my kids already got it, or my kids are bored with it, or we did the pages in the book already, which is fine. So I'll go to the Enrich TE, and it's all down here. So just when you get there, just look for the burnt orange color. And then here it goes through the modules. So we'll be working through. At first, let's go through module 7.
Okay, I'm sorry, you said go where?
Go to module.
Before that.
Oh, are you here?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Enrich.
I'll find you.
Okay.
Enrich. Oh, okay.
Yeah, go to
Oh, I see.
that.
Oh.
Ooh, here's a small.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Did you get it, Jackson, or no?
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's just your computer. That's
Yeah.
yeah. That will never get fixed ever. So click on the Enrich. It says T. Oh, you might have. Oh, yeah. You're gonna drill down, Miss Galba. Go up first. Go to Kinder. Yeah, go to Kinder, and then go to Program. Go Math. And then I clicked on Go Math Enrich. and it gives you a table of contents. And so I think Tuesday will be on Module 7, which is going through 15. And again, this is the teacher one, so it has the answers already done. But this is where I pulled it from. And I think each page aligns with each lesson. So page 6 goes with 7.6, like Module 7, Lesson 6, I think. Or I just made it up. But who knows?
I wish I could print everything out.
But this is where I got the seating chart one from. So that's the answer if you need it. And then likewise for our tier 2s and 3s, I did the same thing. It's in that same color for the teacher edition. But this one has the table of contents a little bit different. It doesn't go by module, it goes by, I don't actually know, it goes by lessons. Hold on, that's not what I want. Hold on. Oh, it's weird. Wait, hold on, I had it. Oh, here we go. It has the table of contents, and it doesn't go by lesson, it goes by kind of content. So it starts off super basic, just counting, and then they're exploring 1 through 4, and then 1 through, again, it's 1 and 2, 3 and 4, then 1 through 4. So it just goes all the way down. And I like it because if your kid if one of your students is stuck on a specific number, like they can't write the number 7, like it gives them, like, not a lesson, but just a page just on 7, so that you can go over that with. And for example, this lesson right here, this page 13, it goes over 6 through 9. And then here, for your kids that might still be struggling with 14 or 13, here they're exploring the teen numbers. So what I got from what's in your folder is 22. You'll notice that this has the same titles. So we have the same number, we're modeling more, and we're modeling fewer. And then as we continue on through the year, we'll have subtraction sentences, addition sentences, and then later on in the year we'll do shapes, 2D shapes and 3D shapes, longer, shorter, bigger, smaller. And then here we go back to the graphs, which was tested on ECP.
This is good.
Awesome.
This is so good.
Yeah,
I can't believe I didn't know.
it's a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
honestly, it's a
lot
lot of stuff. And if you wanted to just have it in your small group with your laptop open,
Yeah.
I mean that'd be good, and have them. I mean, some things they need to write on, but some things they can just write on a whiteboard and they can see on your laptop. So I mean that's another option too. I know we can't all get stuff printed right away. So, what questions are there, or what thoughts do we have?
I mean, I think this is really good.
Yeah.
I think this is helpful too, to know where all those extra resources are.
Mm-hmm.
So for the RTI one, I kind of missed.
Okay.
It's not, because the first one you went to.
The first one I went to was Enrich.
No, sorry. The first, when you clicked it, not, when you clicked the tiers, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did the twos and 3s.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the 1, 2, 3 is. Tier 1 is just the kids, like the kids that are getting it.
Okay.
The kids that they don't need really much extra time.
So
I mean, you need to check in with them. You need to make sure that you're checking their GOL and stuff. But other than that, like the 2s and the 3s are priorities.
I got
but yeah.
that. Thanks.
So I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we're ready for next week.
Yay,
Yeah,
we're
rock
ready.
Alrighty.
Thank you. That was
Thanks.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good.
So helpful.